I'll say, let me tell about Jetty. He was first to see in the family. Jetty was drunk, and he was walking, and he got up on top of the hill from where the house burned, and he got up in that level part. And all at once that light just come out of the ground right there, and they went and looked. They said that was where they was told, some of them, that it was Indians' graves. And it shone all around him so that it shocked Jetty till he come sober. And he said the light was so bright and nearly put his eyes out. And he said he started walking and about halfway running. And it followed him till he got up there to, they always call it Willis Coomer's Gate. It was way out there, so where he had cattle in there. And it stopped. And just shot up in the air. That's the way it did when it come down, and it went back down to that place. And I don't know why they said Jetty never drank anymore. He said that scared him. He thought maybe God might have been telling him to straighten himself up. And then we said, Mother and Dad and them had gone up to Ruth that night and took Sylvia and Esther with them, and me and Marie and Dorothy went over to Grandpa's and them and stayed. And I don't know what with. I believe Grandma was, they had waterworks, you know. And I don't know whether Marie and Dorothy was bringing them up some extra water to wash with. And we saw that light and hit us over at the house where we lived. It was shining in the porch. It was so bright you could see Dad had some the hands of tobacco, you know, he chewed and smoked too, hanging in the porch, and you could see them just as plain as anything. And when they built Marsh Chapel's new church, why, he had one of the old benches on the front porch, was in the old church. You could just see that old bench and everything, just plain as everything. And then it just all at once is there, and it started out and come right around just like it's following the road, you know. And when it got down there and crossed the creek, well, he'd come on up, started on up the hill, the path. And Grandma said, "What in the name of the Lord you doing here?" And it just kept coming on, and the light was so bright on the ground, you could see him pick up a pin. And it shined, come there to the gate, shined down. Pa told Grandma, said, "No, you shut up. I don't know what that is." And it shined just as bright till it just like if you had car lights in your eyes. You know? And then, all at once, it turned and went down the old road towards the spring, back down that way, and went down in behind the bluff. And they said that some of them, Wiley Wilson, them that lived on down the creek, said it was following the creek. They didn't know what it was. It was too high to be somebody doing that. And they said they didn't know what it was, and that then Pa and them told them about what we seen. And it went on down. They said when Esco Moss and all them lived on down the branch further. Said it was following that creek, and they said they didn't know whether that was what they call the Indians' lights or weather lights. But they said it went clear on outside following the branch, and nobody never knew. what it was, or where it come from, or what. They just knew it'd come up. And then Jetty had told them about the light shining around him, sobering him. And I think he told that at the church. He made a change in his life and told them that he just knew God done that he warned him, because that he's wearing his daddy and mother and him all to death, him drinking so much. And that stopped Jetty's drinking, stopped saying his Scots a drunk. And I said, well, it could have been God warning Jetty, because Jetty said that shocked him so bad, that the light was so bright in his eyes and everything just shining on him. It just come up, looked like out of the ground there. And then he said where it come up out is exactly where they said that Indian's grace was. And it was bumpy, you know, down. And as far as that goes, nobody ever knew what it was. And the gas people come through with the, you know, hunting gas, the oil well people, and they said it was oil in the ground, and that ever so often it shot off gases, and that's in one sense that made sense. And then they said, well, why did it fall? They said it got up in the air and it just got to get moved. But how come it to come in that porch? I seen that myself. Marie fainted. She got scared so bad. It come up and shine through the slack fence there. And when Pa made Grandma shut up, I believe it had come right on to us. He told her to shut up. He said, you scared Marie to death. And it shined just like just bright as anything, just right at the fence out there. And then when she stopped, it shined there, and then it just turned and went down that road. And to this day, I don't know what it was. I seen it. And Marie was, the phone had rang, and Marie went in there to answer the phone, and when that shined all of her so bright, she just fell back on the bed. The telephone was by the bed, you know. I guess she answered the phone, sat down on the bed more like. She just said, when that shined in there, she fainted. And I know they got, Grandma and Dorothy got some water and washed her face, and she come to. And we all talked about it, but we never did know what it was. And that all people said it was gas, so I don't know what, but I can't figure out why it followed people.